Hello, everyone, and welcome to Therapeutic Yoga today. We're going to do a class primarily focusing on chair yoga for spinal alignment. So here's what you're going to need for class. A chair, preferably, that does not have any sort of arms or armrests. We're going to be moving side to side in the chair, as well as a yoga strap or some sort of belt or something, so we can kind of open up through our side body and the top of our rib cage. And then finally, of course, a yoga mat. So make sure that you have those things. And then once you have those things, find yourself seated on your chair. Have it so that you're using the front half of the chair. So regardless of the support of your back of your chair, we're not going to be using that today. And then place your feet flat on the floor. Now, once you have your feet on the floor, just kind of take a look down and see, do your feet look about hip distance? So for the majority of us that have fairly average anatomy, if we take your two fists and go down between those big toes, you're going to be at about hip distance apart. Now that you've done that, what I want you to do next is see if you can just kind of today pull your heels a little bit more outward so that the outside of your feet are lining up with the outside of your mats, or the top and bottoms of your mat. And then in that position, just kind of have your yoga strap somewhere near you on your lap or something like that. And then place your hands on your thighs, and then just start to gently roll your pelvis forward and backward a few times. Feel that as you roll your pelvis forward and arch your back, you physically get taller. As you roll your pelvis backward and sit behind your sit bones closer to your tailbone, you physically get shorter. And then what I want you to do is roll all the way into that tall position, and then just close your eyes for a second and roll yourself back until you feel that you're sitting right on the very front of those sit bones. Now, word to the wise, if you've got lots of gluteal muscle or lots of gluteal soft tissue, you might kind of need to pull it out of the way to be able to feel those sit bones, but really allow yourself to kind of sit up nice and tall, and then just gently roll yourself back until you feel that you're right on the very front of those sit bones. In that position, before we do anything with the rest of our body, check in if there's any weight through your legs. So right now for me, even though I've kind of found myself in the neutral position of my pelvis and my low back, I can very easily pick up my legs, which means that all of my weight is still into my lumbar spine. So to transfer that base of support from your lumbar spine into your legs, it's a movement of the hips. So literally, don't roll your pelvis backward or forward, but actually let yourself hinge a little bit forward with your hips until you feel like there's weight into your legs, meaning I can no longer pick my legs up. I know that I'm in a good alignment through my pelvis and my low back, and I have weight being distributed down into my feet. Have that for yourself at home. Now, once you have that, allow yourself to make sure that your spine feels nice and tall. Take your hands, bring your hands to the center of your chest area. Start with just a little bit of a gentle stretch through your wrists here. So just kind of move your fingers and your wrists back and forth just to kind of open up through your forearms. We are doing a spinal posture class today, but just kind of start feeling that movement through those wrist muscles. And then keep them in the center. Take a nice deep inhale. Lift your arms nice and tall, but don't let yourself change your body weight. Place the palms upward towards the ceiling, and then bend your elbows. And as you bend your elbows, imagine your forearms coming down through a doorway until your elbows tuck into your side. Now check back in that you haven't lost the weight into your feet. You can't pick your legs up. You feel like you still feel the front of those sit bones or that pelvic floor area. And if you feel like you have all of that through the lower body, give those shoulder blades a little bit of a squeeze right here, and then gently rest your hands down onto your thighs. Lengthen the back of your neck. Settle your chin into your throat. Rest your tongue onto the roof of your mouth. Close your eyes for me. So we're going to start with a body awareness today, not so much working on breathing, but we're going to use breath to make sure that we are definitively sitting on that pelvic floor. And so we know that we have weight through our legs because we can't pick our legs up right now. If I try to fire my hip flexors and pick up my legs, I can't do it without moving my spine. So I know I'm in a good position there, but here's what I want you to do. Take every bit of attention you have right now to the part of your pelvis that's sitting on the chair. And see if you can just volitionally tighten those muscles for a second. Old school Kegel exercise is what they called that. And then see if you can volitionally let those muscles relax. And try that again. Don't even attach it to breath yet, but see if you can volitionally kind of squeeze through those pelvic floor muscles. Make sure your legs don't move. So don't use your leg and hip muscles, just the pelvic floor muscles. And then volitionally let those muscles let go. As you do that, can you feel that maybe the muscles work better on one side of your body than the other? Believe it or not, those muscles, even though they're all at the floor of our pelvis, one side works separate of the other because it's innervated by a different side of the nerve. So here's what I want you to now do. We're going to kind of work on thinking about that pelvic floor to begin focusing on our spinal alignment and posture and sitting. So keep your eyes closed. Keep yourself really focused on that pelvic floor. Take a nice slow inhale into your belly. And as you do that, hopefully feel that pelvic floor start to push into the chair. And now open your mouth and exhale your air out. Keep exhaling and exhaling and exhaling it. And as you exhale, can you tighten that pelvic floor up with that exhale and literally feel your entire pelvis lift off the chair? We're going to try that about 3 more times. So deep inhale into your nose. Feel that push downward into the chair. Now open your mouth and exhale. Exhale, exhale, tighten the muscles. You may feel the hip flexors or your hip muscles engage, but I want you to focus on those pelvic floor muscles. 2 more times. Inhale, deeply inhale, inhale, inhale. Push and feel that pelvic floor spread into the chair. Now open that mouth and exhale every bit of air you've got. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Feel those muscles tightening up. Don't let your legs move. Don't let yourself change the weight into your spine or your legs. Inhale into that nose. Feel the belly expand. Feel the pelvic floor expand. Feel it push downward into a chair. Relaxation of your pelvic floor, that's efficient with an inhale. Now open that mouth. Can you exhale, exhale, exhale that air out? Tighten that pelvic floor up. Feel everything engage. And then slowly inhale and relax again. No longer focusing on the pelvic floor, but understanding that if we're going to work spinal alignment in sitting, we surely must make sure we are sitting on that. So the remainder of class, when we take inhales and exhales, allow yourself to think about that those are the muscles that are contracting. We're also going to be focusing on abdominals and other muscles, but give yourself today in sitting to get the strongest pelvic floor, the strongest base of support to our spinal alignment when we're in sitting. All right, now let's kind of move up a little bit to the lumbar spine and the pelvis and the thoracic spine. So let's try some gentle cat-cow movements in sitting. So here's the thing I challenge you today. Keep your hands on your thighs so that when you go into your cat pose, which means you're going to sit near your tailbone, you can kind of hold your body weight slightly forward. So allow your rib cage not to fall behind your pelvis, but rather just allow it to stay in alignment with your pelvis. So let's give this a try. Start with an inhale, roll the pelvis forward, lift the rib cage up, maybe lengthen through the spine and look up. But if you could see you from the side, the rib cage hasn't thrusted forward in front of the pelvis. Now holding on to those thighs, start your exhale, let the back of your neck lengthen, chin to chest, Roll that chest downward. Let that belly come up and inward. Slowly settle down to that tailbone. But if you could see you from your side, your rib cage hasn't fallen to touch the back of the chair. All right, let's try that again. Inhale, allow that pelvis to roll forward, arch through the back, lift through the chest, lengthen through the front of the neck, gaze upward. Exhaling through the nose, lengthen through the back of the neck, chin to chest, curl that rib cage downward, pull that belly up and inward, let that pelvis roll back towards that tailbone, but do not touch the back of the chair. One more time here. Inhaling, rolling forward to the front of the pelvis, arching the back, lengthening through the front of the chest, lengthening through the front of the neck and looking up, but not thrusting your rib cage far forward. And then finally, this time, lengthen through the back of the neck, bring the chin down, curl that rib cage down, pull that belly up and in, roll that pelvis back towards that tailbone, but don't touch the back of the chair. Very good. Now from here, can you just gently close your eyes? Can you slowly roll yourself right back to that perfect spot where you're just in front of those sit bones? Feel the weight into the legs. Feel the length of the spine. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, take your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Hands to the center of the chest now. Open those eyes, inhale those arms all the way up. Place the palms towards the ceiling. Exhale as those arms come down like there's a fake doorway around you. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Place those hands back on the arms and check in with your spinal alignment. Can you feel yourself in front of those sit bones? Can you feel the weight into your legs? Can you feel the muscles between your shoulder blades engaging? Is your neck long? Is your chin tucked? Is your tongue automatically starting to learn to rest on the roof of that mouth? One more deep breath into that pelvic floor. Deep inhale in, feel it spread and push downward into that chair. Open that mouth, exhaling that air out. And as you exhale, feel that entire pelvic floor and abdominals pull up and in. Beautiful. And then slowly relaxing, settling that pelvic floor back down onto the chair. Time to grab your strap. Now today, begin with having your strap folded perfectly in half. Once you have your strap folded perfectly in half, hold the strap so that the strap is wider than the width of your arms or your shoulders. So have it so that it's wider than your body, maybe even wider than your chair. Now, take a nice deep inhale, lift the strap upward above your head. Once the strap is upward above your head, take an exhale there and make sure you feel weight into your feet. Then take an inhale here, lengthen through the spine, and on the exhale, pull with the left arm. Allow the right arm to be reaching up and over the body. Don't lose the weight into the left or the right leg. Hold yourself right here. Take a nice deep inhaling in. As you exhale, can you pull with that left arm anymore? One more breath, deep inhaling in. Exhale, pull with that left arm. Then inhale, coming all the way back up. Exhaling, making sure there's weight into your feet. Now, inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, pull with the right arm. How far can you pull that right arm over? Keep the weight into the left leg. Inhaling, lengthen through the side of the body on the left side. Exhale, can you pull with that right arm? Beautiful. Then inhale, coming back up to the center. Now, here's what I want you to do this time. With the strap above you and up to the center, can you gently rotate yourself a little bit to the right side? Now, inhaling here. Exhale, pull with that left arm. Keep the weight into that right leg. Don't let your right sit bone lift up. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, pull with that left arm. I hope you feel that right to your low back area. Then inhale, bring the strap back up. Exhale back to the center. Take a deep inhale, rotate to the left gently, not end range, just a gentle rotation. And then exhale, pull with that right arm. Make sure you're sitting into that left leg. Feel that stretch down into that left low back area. Deep inhale here. Exhale, pull with that right arm a little bit more. Beautiful job. Inhale, coming back up. Unrotate and exhale, relax the arms down. Nice opening through the entire rib cage all the way into that low back. Maybe you're a little bit warm now. So then take that strap, place it up and over that right shoulder area. Place it exactly where you might lay a necklace. Have the strap in front of you and hold it with your right hand. Have the strap beside you or behind you and hold it with your left hand. In this position, gently tip your head to the right. Take a nice deep inhale here. And then on the exhale, with that left hand, pull that strap back, back, back. Feel that burning as that strap pulls those muscles backward. Then take an inhale, lift your head up to upright. Exhale, tip it to the left, and then turn that chin towards that left shoulder blade. Can you check in that there is weight in your feet, that you still feel your weight into that pelvic floor? Take a nice deep inhale into your belly here and exhaling out. One more time, deep inhaling into the belly and exhaling out. As you inhale, unrotate the head, unside bend the head, and on the exhale, relax the strap. Then just flip the strap around, place the strap so that it's in front of you on the left side. It's right over that left shoulder girdle, thoracic girdle area where a necklace might lay. Hold the strap in the front on the left side. Hold the strap behind you or to the side on the right side. Now, allow yourself to, before you do anything with the strap, just gently let the head side bend to the left. Take a deep inhale here, and on the exhale, pull that strap back with that right hand. Feel those tissues of that left area of your neck being pulled backward. Then with the head, take an inhale, lift it upright, and as you exhale, side bend it right, and then turn that chin to that right shoulder. Feel that beautiful stretching through that left neck area. Maintaining this, checking in, there's weight through your feet. You feel that pelvic floor touching that chair. Take a deep inhale into the belly here and exhaling out. Nice deep inhale into the belly here and exhaling out. Inhaling, slowly unrotating the head, slowly unside bending the head, exhaling, relaxing the strap. Now, just simply taking the strap, bringing it away from your neck, folding it up and just placing it beside your mat, having your arms now back onto the thigh area, going through those 3 cat-cows again, really focusing on keeping the alignment of the rib cage and the pelvis as you create extension and flexion of your spine. So check in that there's weight into your feet. Check in that you feel that pelvic floor on the chair. All right, close your eyes if you need to. Before we move the spine, can you take that deep inhale and feel that pelvic floor pushing down into the chair? And then as you exhale, open that mouth, exhale that air out hard, feel the abdomen pulling up and in. Feel that pelvic floor pulling up and in. Slowly relaxing. Now creating spinal movement to help our alignment. So inhale, start to roll to the front of the pelvis, arching the back, lifting the chest, arching the thoracic spine, lengthening the neck, looking up. Keep that rib cage stacked on top of that pelvis. And then as you exhale, lengthening through the back of the neck, chin to chest, starting to curl that rib cage under, slowly pulling that abdomen up and in, letting yourself settle towards that tailbone. 2 more times here. Inhale, rolling that pelvis forward, feeling that front of the pelvis arching through the back, lengthening through that thoracic spine as you lift that chest, lengthening through the neck and looking upward. Reversing that, exhaling, lengthening through the back of that neck, taking that chin to the chest, starting to curl that rib cage under, pulling that abdomen up and in, settling that tailbone under, finding that end position of cat. Finally, inhaling, rolling forward to the front of the pelvis, arching gently through that low back, arching through that thoracic spine, lifting that rib cage upward, lengthening through the neck and looking upward. And exhaling, lengthening through the neck, bringing that chin downward, arching through that rib cage, pulling that abdomen up and in as you roll that pelvis back towards that tailbone. Now stay right here. Slowly just start to bend your elbows. Let your belly begin to gently come towards your thighs. Feel that beginning of that stretching of your low back. Once your belly is up and over your thighs, your chest is up and over your knees, lengthen the back of your neck, begin to look behind your chair, and slowly lower your arms downward towards the floor. Take a deep inhale into your belly to stretch out that low back. And exhaling out. Lengthen the neck, guys. Look behind you. Nice deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Now, push into your feet for me. Feel yourself lift a little bit off of the pelvis, off of the mat, off the chair. And then start at your tailbone. Pull your abdominals up and in. And as you start at that tailbone, start to uncurl your spine, one segment at another, until you make your way all the way up to that lengthened position. Lengthening the neck and the chin is the last thing that comes up. Beautiful. Now, let's kind of start to move down to the lower half of spinal posture in a seated chair position. So let's begin with turning ourselves to the left side of the chair. Have it so that your left foot is resting somewhere underneath your left knee, and have it so that that right sit bone is actually off the back of the chair. In this position, drop your right knee down so that it is in line with your right hip. Keep those right toes turned under unless you cannot, and then you can have it with your toes flat. But if you're gonna have your toes flat, hold on to the back of your chair for balance. Very good. Now, in this position, take a nice deep inhale, and on the exhale, tuck that tailbone under. Feel the abdominals engage, the glutes and the hamstrings engage as you get that pelvic tilt. Feel that opening through the front of the hip in this position. Allow the hands to come towards that left knee area. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Gently push your hands downward into your left knee. Keep the tilt as you're opening. As you push, feel the engagement of the trunk muscles, holding yourself right here. Take a nice deep inhale in and exhaling out. One more breath for me. Deep inhaling in and exhaling out. Slowly inhale, lift yourself back up, and as you exhale, relax that tilt. Now, staying right where you are, placing the hands back on that left thigh, how far can you slide that right leg behind you? Can you get that right knee perfectly straight? And if you can you then lengthen your body and get your entire chest up and over that left leg? Now, as you inhale, straighten the right leg, squeeze the glutes, push back into the heel. Ready? Let's see how strong those back muscles are. Lengthen your neck, and as you exhale, can you reach your arms forward? Can you feel your left leg working? Can you feel your right leg working? Holding right here, improving that spinal alignment. Give me a nice deep inhale in. And exhaling out. Can you do one more breath for me? Deep inhaling in and exhaling out. Drop those hands back onto that left leg. Bend that right knee in and slowly turn yourself to the other side. I hope you felt all of your leg muscles working while you were doing that. So now, on this right side, start with making sure the right foot is underneath the right knee. Once you have that, Toes are turned under, but make sure that the left knee is stacked directly underneath the left hip and the left sit bone is off the side of the chair. If you're going to have your toes flat for any sort of orthopedic reason, then just use the right hand to hold onto the chair while we do the opening through the hip flexors. Now, in this position, take a nice deep inhale, and on your exhale, tuck that tailbone under as much as you can. Feel the engagement of the abdominals, the glutes, and the hamstrings. Feel that beautiful opening through that hip flexor. And then gently bring both of your hands together on top of that right knee. Now, keeping that tuck of that tailbone, take those two hands and start to push downward into the right knee. Feel those abdominals and upper body muscles engaging. Holding right here, lengthen your neck, settle your chin, and take a deep inhale into your belly. And exhaling out. One more breath, deep inhaling in. And exhaling out and relaxing the pelvic tilt and slowly bringing yourself up. Now, place your weight onto your right hand or your left hand as well and see how far you can get that left leg back. Go as straight as your spine alignment and your hip flexors and your knee extensors are going to let you. Make sure that that right knee is stacked on top of that right foot. In this position now, take a deep inhale and straighten that left leg. Engage those glutes. Bring the body weight up and over that right knee. And then if you got an exhale, see if you can lengthen those arms. Now, in this position, with those arms nice and long, squeezing through the shoulder blades, pushing back into that left heel. Can you take a deep inhale here? Yes, I feel my right leg too. Don't worry. Exhaling. Let's do that one more time. Deep inhale here. Exhaling and drop those hands down to the right leg. Bring yourself back up. Slowly slide that left leg in and come back to the center of the chair. Now, let's take our right leg. Slowly take the right leg out to the side of the chair and slide yourself so that the right sit bone is off the chair, but the entire left butt cheek and left sit bone are still on the chair. Make sure that the left foot is stacked directly underneath the left knee. And then take that right foot and bring it to the side to the point that the ankle and the knee and the hip line up with the trunk. Once you have that, allow yourself to take your right hand and place it into the right hip area. So we're going to do a modification of triangle pose or gate pose here. So in this position, now that you are in the correct alignment, allow yourself to take an inhale and lengthen through your spine. And then as you exhale, hinge your hip up and over to the right side. Now that you have your body weight onto your right leg, if you so desire, you can bring your hand downward onto the leg, but don't place it directly on the knee. So stay on the hip, come down to the thigh, or come down towards the shin bone area. Now, left arm, bring it up and out to the side. Take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, reach up and over your body and feel that beautiful opening through the left side of your spine. Can you check in that your armpit is pointed upwards towards the ceiling? Can you take a deep inhale into your belly here and exhaling out? Let's do one more breath. Nice deep inhale in and exhaling out. Arm on the left, inhale it all the way up and then exhale it down as you slide your body back up into that sitting position. Slide that right leg in. And once it's all the way in, scoot yourself over to the left side of the chair. Get the right leg alignment first. And so make sure that the right foot is directly underneath the right knee. And then start to place that left sit bone off of the chair, taking that left leg and lining up the ankle, the knee, and the hip with the trunk. Once you feel like you have that position, left hand going to the crease of the left hip here. Take that nice deep inhale and lengthen through your spine. And then as you exhale, start to lean up and over that hip. And once you have that, You can stay there with your left hand, but if you want to try a little bit more of a modification, a little bit more difficult of an opening through the right side of your body, you can slide your hand down to your thigh or slide your hand down to your calf, but do not place your hand directly on your knee. Now, with the right arm, take it out to the side of your body, reach it outward. Take a deep inhale here as you lift the arm up. And as you exhale, side bend that arm over. Feel that amazing opening through the right low back area. Check in that your armpit is pointed upwards towards the ceiling. Take a deep inhale here and exhaling. One more time. Nice deep inhale and exhaling. Right arm, inhale it up, and then as you exhale, bring your trunk back and over your right pelvis. Slide that left leg in. Find yourself back to the center of that chair. Now, let's find that neutral alignment of that base of support again. So just gently place your hands on your thighs. Close your eyes. Make it really about what you feel today, not just what you think is alignment. And then bring yourself to paying attention to the pelvic floor and your sit bones. Now in this position, just with opening up through all of those back muscles and hip muscles, do the sit bones feel differently as you're having them push into the chair or just, resting into the seat of the chair? Do they feel wider? Do they feel like you can place more weight onto them? And then allow yourself to roll yourself to the front of the pelvis and roll yourself to the back of the pelvis. Go through that a couple of times, rolling forward and rolling backwards. And then allow yourself to, as you roll forward the next time, feel where you're sitting nice and tall right on top of the sit bone. All the way forward, get that tall, tall, tall body, and then slowly let you roll yourself gently back until you're just at the point at the very front of those sit bones. Allow yourself to slowly hinge at your hips. Make sure that you can't pick your legs up. Now keep yourself right there. Last cat-cow in a sitting position. So keep that position of the weight bearing through your legs. But can you inhale and gently roll the pelvis a bit more forward, arch through the low back, lift through the chest, lengthen through the front of the neck and look upward. And then can you exhale, curl the neck down first, lengthen through the back of the neck, lower that rib cage down, pull that rib cage up and in. Slowly let yourself feel that tailbone rolling backwards. Now, let yourself stay with that tailbone rolled backwards. Start to bend your elbows and slowly bring yourself down, belly to the thigh, chest to the knees. Keep the back of the neck long. Gaze all the way back to the back beyond the chair. Relax the arms down. Keep the neck long. Feel that beautiful opening through the chest, the low back, Take a deep inhale into your belly here. And then exhaling. And one more breath. Nice deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling. Now push into your feet for me. Feel the engagement and feel the pelvis gently lift off of the chair. And then start at the lowest part of your pelvis. Pull those abdominals in and slowly let yourself sequentially roll your pelvis. One after another, all the way up until the very last thing to roll up is that neck and that head. Beautiful. Now, we're going to lower ourselves down onto the mat, but we're still going to use the chair for a little bit of opening through our rib cage. So what I want you to do, easiest way to do this is just gently bring yourself off the chair, come down into a kneeling onto the right or the left knee, slowly bring the other knee down, and then just gently allow yourself to place your chair so that you've got your chair onto your yoga mat and you're on your knees. And your arms are at a point that as you're holding onto your chair with straight arms, you have that alignment of your hips and knees. So if you can imagine where the legs of the chair are, the front legs would be where your arms would be if you were doing hands and knees or quadruped position. But we're going to stay up into this position. Now, from here, allow yourself to slowly begin to walk your arms to the back of the chair until the elbows are resting on the chair. Once the elbows are resting on the chair, begin to lengthen your neck, settle your chin, and gaze downward towards your floor. Now, as you inhale, think about your chest bone and slowly start to push the chest bone downward towards the floor. The crown of the head may touch the top or the front of the chair, and that is okay. As you exhale, pull your abdominal up and in and tuck your tailbone gently under. Staying right here. Inhale, drop that chest downward towards the floor. Exhaling, pull those abdominals up and in and curl that tailbone under. Let's do one more time here. Inhaling, dropping that chest downwards towards the floor. Exhale, abdominals up and in, curl that tailbone under, feel that engagement through the glutes and the abdomen. Then slowly, using your body weight, push yourself up and forward. So what I want you to try to do is see if you can stack your shoulders on top of your elbows. So if you need to move your knees a little bit forward, go ahead and do that. But in this position, have the weight onto the chair. Squeeze your glutes, tighten your abdominals, and then try to pull your elbows into the chair. Feel your body shaking. Hello, modification of plank. Hello, abdominals of your spine. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Try to pull your elbows down and into the chair. Take that moment to love that shaking of your body. Take a deep inhale into your belly. Exhaling out. Let's do that one more time. Deep inhale in. And exhaling out, and then slowly walk your hands back up onto the chair. Allow yourself here to sit yourself back onto your heels. Take a nice, gentle, deep inhale here, and then very gently walking your hands down onto the floor, belly to the thighs, chin comes down, chin towards the chest, crown of the head comes down to the floor. Can you take a quick look back and make sure that your feet are hip distance apart? Don't let those toesies go in towards one another. Just soften the elbows here and just let yourself be and be thankful for finally making it down to the floor, right? So let's take a nice deep inhale into the belly and exhaling out. Deep inhale in, exhale out. Let's do one more time. Nice deep inhale into the belly and exhaling out. Beautiful. Slowly walk yourself up into your kneeling position. Let yourself turn to your left or your right side. As you turn to your left or your right side, have yourself close enough that you're going to be able to use the chair to rest your calf muscles on. And then just gently lay yourself down onto your side. Let the legs come up onto the chair and find that position for you where you feel that you can rest your calf muscles on the chair. Have it so that your knees are not directly stacked on top of your hips. So keep your hips a little bit open and just let yourself rest right here. Shoulder blades, rest them underneath you. Make sure that you have that position. And then do a couple of tuck and tilts with your pelvis to kind of feel where is that neutral lumbar spine for you. Find the middle of the road and hold that position there for me. Lengthen the neck, settle the chin. Take your right hand to your chest and the left hand to your belly area. Just a few diaphragmatic breaths in this neutral position laying down before we open up a bit more through our hips. So take a nice deep inhale into your belly and exhaling out. Deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. One more breath, deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Beautiful. Keep your left leg exactly where it is. Take your right knee and bring it up to your chest. Nice deep inhale here. And then on the exhale, pull that knee up and into your chest. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Take a deep inhale into your belly here. Exhaling out. One more nice deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Slowly releasing the right foot back onto the chair. Taking an inhale, bringing that left knee up and into the chest. Exhaling, pulling that knee inward. Deep inhaling in. And exhaling out. One more breath. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Deep inhaling in. And exhaling out. Slowly releasing the left foot back to the floor, taking the right knee back to your chest, but this time taking the hands to the underside of the knee. Nice deep inhale, and on the exhale, pull that knee up and into your chest. Point the toes up on both legs. Taking the right leg, and on the inhale, straightening that knee, opening up through the sciatic nerve and hamstrings, and then exhaling and slowly relaxing down. Doing 2 more times for me. Inhaling and straightening. Exhaling and relaxing. Inhaling and straightening. And exhaling and relaxing. Slowly resting the right foot back onto the chair, taking the left leg and bringing it towards your chest, hands around the back of the knee. Nice deep inhale here. Exhale, bending that knee nice and close into your chest. Toes up on both legs. Check in that your neck is long and your chin is gently tucked. Take an inhale, straightening through that left knee, and then exhaling and gently relaxing. Doing that 2 more times. Inhaling and straightening. Exhaling and relaxing. And 1 more time. Inhaling and straightening. And exhaling and relaxing. Beautiful. Resting the left leg back onto the chair. Allowing yourself now to take the right knee and place the right knee so that it's just in front of the hip. Left knee, take the left knee so that it's just in front of the hip. You could easily probably touch your heels to your chair right now, but what I want you to do is lift your heels just off the chair. Point your toes up towards your head. Place your right hand onto your right thigh, the left hand onto the left thigh. Shoulder blades are back and down, neck is long, chin is tucked inward. Start to gently push the hands into the thighs and the thighs into the hands. Take a deep inhale into your belly and exhaling out. Keep the pushing going on both sides. Inhaling in, hopefully you're getting some shaking. Exhaling out. 1 more breath for me. Nice deep inhaling in and exhaling out, and then relaxing that push. Placing the right hand onto the left thigh, the left hand onto the right thigh. Same thing, shoulder blades back and down, lengthen the neck, settle the chin. Toes are pointed upward. Start to gently push the hands into the thighs into the hands. Feel the shaking occurring. Give me a deep inhaling in and an exhaling out. 2 more times, deep inhaling in. Exhaling out. 1 more time. Deep inhaling in and exhaling out. Beautiful job. Take the hand behind the right thigh, the hand behind the left thigh. Point the toes away just so that they can almost touch the chair, but not quite. Keeping in this position. Shoulder blades are back and down. Bend those elbows. Engage those biceps. Try to pull the thighs towards the chest as you push the thighs into the hands. Lengthen the neck, settle the chin. Give me a deep inhaling here. And exhale, thighs into hands, hands into thighs. 2 more breaths, deep inhaling in and exhaling. And 1 more breath, deep inhaling in and exhaling. And when you think we're done, we're not, pull those toes back up. Right hand to the front of the right thigh, left hand to the front of the left thigh. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, start to engage, pushing those hands into the thighs into the hands, lifting those hands a little bit towards the ceiling. Shoulder blades are back and down, lengthen the neck, settle the chin. Inhaling here and exhaling. Come on, guys, last breath, nice deep inhaling in and exhaling, and then slowly relax those legs, pull those knees into your chest. Allow yourself to maybe a little bit of a rock and roll here. Nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, gently pull those knees into your chest. Relax your feet. You've got it. Now, very slowly place the right leg back onto the chair, left leg back onto the chair. Once they're in that position, take that right knee back to your chest, but then bring the knee to the center of the chest. Make sure that that right sit bone, the right pelvis is still touching the mat. And then take that left hand and slide it all the way down towards that left ankle and shin area. In this position, allow yourself to check in that that right pelvis does not lift. Shoulder blades are back and down, neck is long, chin is tucked. Take a nice deep inhale here, and then on the exhale, gently pull that knee up and into the center of your chest. This breath, focusing on the left hand and the right knee, take a deep inhale, and on that exhale, pull that foot upwards towards that left shoulder. Feel that gorgeous opening through that right buttock area. Now, can you get that deep inhale into the pelvic floor? Deep inhale into the belly. Feel that muscle lengthening, and then as you exhale, keeping that tension on the muscle. 1 more breath, nice deep inhaling in and exhaling. Gorgeous. Slowly releasing the left hand from the right knee, letting that foot line back up, and then resting the right foot back onto the chair, doing it all over again on the opposite side. And so taking the left knee up and into the chest, taking the right hand towards that left ankle shin bone area. Check in that that left pelvis is on the floor. Shoulder blades are back and down. Neck is long, chin is tucked inward. Starting with the left hand and the left knee, take a nice deep inhale in, and on the exhale, pull that knee into the chest. Now, nice deep inhale in, and exhale, pull that left foot towards that right shoulder. Feel that opening through that left buttock area. 2 beautiful deep inhales and exhales. Deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. And 1 more breath, deep inhale in. And exhaling out. Slowly on the inhale, releasing the right hand from the left foot, unrotating that leg and resting the leg back down onto the chair. All right, now let's do a little bit of a different spinal twist to end our class today. So we're going to be doing more of an active spinal twist so that we're really engaging the muscles of our spine. So here's what I want you to do first. Go back to your pelvis and go back to your low back. And take an inhale, arch your low back off the floor. So basically a laying down cow pose. And then as you exhale, tuck your tailbone under, flatten your back, and maybe even lift your pelvis off the floor a little bit. Feel what happens when you do that. Inhaling, arching the back, allow yourself to completely lift that low back off the floor. Exhaling, flattening the back, and maybe if you want to engage those hamstrings, lifting the pelvis a little bit off of the floor. 1 more time. Inhale, full arch, full cow pose. And then exhaling, find that cat pose and maybe even lift that pelvis off a little tiny bit. Now, can you slowly let the pelvis drop down? Can you slowly arch the back to the point that you feel about an inch of the low back is off the mat? Then place your hands on your belly, brace your abdominal muscles. So start to feel your muscles hardening. Can you hold that position of your low back and lift your right leg off the chair? Can you hold, oh gosh, it's so hard, but see if you can do it. Can you hold that position of your low back, keeping those abdominal muscles nice and braced, and lift the left leg off the floor? Now focusing on that, keeping your hands either on your belly to make sure that you've got the engagement of those abdominal muscles, or you can gently rest your arms slowly out to the side of you. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Now, can you take a nice deep inhale, and on the exhale, let the feet and knees roll to the left, just enough to let the right pelvis come off the floor. And then as you inhale, bring everything back to that center position. And then as you exhale, knees and feet to the right, can you find that point that just the left pelvis comes off the floor? Shaking is okay. Inhale, come back to the center. Now, can you exhale to the left with the knees and feet, pelvis comes off, and then feel that that right low back starts to rotate a little bit off the floor. Inhale, back to the center, kind of like a tick-tock here. Keep that spine in neutral, keep those abdominals braced. Exhaling to the right with the knees and feet, left pelvis lifts, low back gently lifts as it rotates off the floor to the left. All right, inhale back to the center. I think you see the idea of what we're doing today. Exhale, going to the left, pelvis lifts. The low back lifts. Can you let just the base of your rib cage lift off the floor? Now, inhale that rib cage down, low back down, pelvis down to that neutral position. Exhaling to the right, left pelvis lifts, low back lifts. Can you lift just the base of that left rib cage? Inhale, rib cage comes back down, low back down, pelvis back down to the center. Last time. Exhaling, going to the left, pelvis lifts, low back lifts, rib cage lifts even more. Exhale, rib cage comes down, lower rib cage comes down, low back comes down, pelvis comes back down. Exhaling to the right, pelvis lifts, low back lifts, rib cage lifts. Finally, inhale, rib cage back to the center, pelvis to the center. And exhale, bring your knees to your chest. Now, please rock and roll. So an active spinal twist to end today. Can you roll so much that you feel yourself rolling all the way to your right pelvis, all the way to your left pelvis, opening up as you used all of those spinal muscles so awesomely today. And then bringing yourself back to the center, taking one nice deep inhale here and exhaling, pulling the knees into the chest. And then finally resting the right foot back onto the chair. The left foot back onto the chair, maybe going through one of those tucks and those tilts through that low back area. I feel very confident I will feel my abdominals tomorrow. Roll your shoulder blades underneath you. Rest your arms gently out beside you. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Now let yourself be there for a moment. Stay nice and steady. Feel the weight of your calf muscles on the chair. Imagine like a waterfall. All of that lymphatic flow coming from the tips of your toes down through your ankles, down through your knees, all the way to your hips and your pelvis. And take a moment to feel your pelvis on the floor. Do you feel the same amount of your right pelvis as you do your left? Take a deep inhale into your belly. Feel the pelvis push more down on the floor, and then maybe do whatever minor adjustments of your feet, your legs you need to do to get that pelvis perfectly weight bearing equally right to left on the floor. And gently move your way up to your rib cage. Feel the right rib cage, the left rib cage, right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade. Take a deep inhale into your belly here. And then as you exhale, just let all of that settle even heavier down onto the floor. And then lengthen your neck, settle your chin, feel your head resting on your mat. Take a nice deep inhale into your belly. And then as you exhale, let that head be as heavy and relaxed as you can. Keep your body nice and still. Simply breathe normally. Feel that air going in and out of your nostrils. And check in that your tongue is resting on the roof of your mouth. And just let your body enjoy this moment. Be still and know the beauty of healing your body by just letting it rest. Now, gently start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And do some circles with your ankles and your wrists. And when you're ready, just gently slide your right heel to the edge of the chair, the left heel to the edge of the chair, and slowly let yourself roll over onto the side as your legs come down onto your yoga mat. Resting here for just a moment. Deep inhale into the belly and exhaling out. And then on your next exhale, top hand, bottom elbow, pushing yourself up into a seated position. Finding yourself sitting in a nice, simple, easy pose. Hands are to your hearts and smiles are on our faces. I hope your spine feels as wonderful today as mine does. Deep inhale into the belly. Exhaling out. Namaste. The highest in me salutes the highest in you. Thank you. Thank you for joining me today.